So I wanted to do my first video on another topic, but recently something popped into my mind. You see, for the first time in a very long time, I'm not working on any side project, which feels really weird to me. Because since I started to code more than 10 years ago, I've always been working on some sort of side project. Unfortunately, none of those projects was successful. So I figured, why not do a video to understand why those projects failed and why this is often the case for other software developers around me. So for you today, I have 5 tips that I will illustrate with my own stories, so you can avoid to do the same mistake. Let's go. Hey there, I'm Anthony, I'm a software engineer. This is my first video here on YouTube, and on this channel I will talk about how I approach software development and as well some stories about my side project. All of this video YouTube stuff is very much new to me, so sorry there's few hiccups. I will eventually get there. So I'm a true believer of the concept of learning by failing. It's a long process, it hurts, but at least for me it has been the best way to go and evolve. So the first project I want to talk about to move my point across is Ment. This was my first ambitious project. Back then I was working for a startup when working in the office was still a thing, and I remember how chaotic it was to find the perfect time that works for your teammates and a meeting room. I was constantly looking for the best place and time to meet my coworkers. And it was honestly so difficult. So you maybe guessed it. The first product was a calendar. We went super crazy on it. We were managing your personal calendar, your team calendar, as well as your meeting rooms availabilities. Everything was connected with Google Calendar, real times. It was big. With that comes my first advice. Start small. I know, your project is like a child. You want the best for them, and it's really easy to start working heads down into a project and keeps on adding new features every day. You become so focused on building that you tend to lose yourself in the process. Shh, stop. So for us, the idea was to create a personal calendar, but we ended with a full-fledged solution for your team and meeting rooms. It took us 1 year, 1 freaking year before noticing we were in the wrong direction. I feel so stupid now, but this would have been obvious if you would have known the second tip. Test the idea first. This is an advice I never followed myself, and I just skipped this step every single time. Did I knew it? Yes. Am I stupid? You tell me. But frankly, this is just part of human nature. We always think we have the idea that everyone will love and use. The hard truth is that you most likely don't. So why working months on a project if no one wants to use it? We often create perfect stories in our head, where everything works as planned, and everyone loves our idea. But to get back to our story, in 2018 we joined a startup incubator, and we were super thrilled about it. Things were getting serious for the project. They really loved our attitude and the quality of the product. But there was an issue. They didn't quite get what we were doing. And in fact, no one did. We were so focused on building that we forgot what mattered most: the users. And we ended up with a weird child between Google Calendar, Sunrise, and a meeting room management software. We were doing a lot of things, but we were not excellent at any of them. You can be average at mini sport, but I believe if you want to be an Olympian, you need to be excellent at one. Of course, there's always counterexample, like this dude who was gold medalist in box and bobsleigh. It's super random, so I had to mention it. Anyway, try to be obsessed with users. Try to understand who they are and what they want. Trust me, when your product will be more mature, you will have time to code complicated features. So put this keyboard down, take a deep breath, and let's talk about the next topic, which is, in my opinion, the developer's kryptonite. Focus on your marketing. I know it hurts, you'll have to use your brain for something else than coding. But marketing is an essential part of your business. And at this stage of your product, it's arguably more important than coding. Try to build a community around your product. Try to build some hype. It doesn't have to be millions of people. It can be as little as 50 early adopters. But if at this stage your product idea doesn't have a good traction, it's maybe a good indication that you're going in the wrong direction. For Ment, we spent months working on it, and we expected users to queue to test it. But you're not selling the new iPhone, so no one will be queuing to test it. So finally, what happened with Ment? So we just tried to sell it to a few people, and we just noticed that it wasn't suitable for anyone. We tried to pivot and tweak the idea, but ultimately after some time, we started to lose motivation and we just stopped the idea. So don't be like us, do your marketing, you won't regret it. Cheers. So now let's move on with the next idea I worked on, Peel. So my mate and I are both dating apps users. But we never really trusted the process and we wanted to raise the bar of online dating. So the idea was to slow down the process of online dating. And instead of showing you an infinite feed of people, the app was only sending you 2 matches every day and you were only able to speak to 2 people at once. So the idea was nice, but what went wrong exactly? So here comes the next tip. Find a team with complementary skills. So Peel was honestly a fantastic product and I'm super proud of what we've done with it. But we really struggled to grow. Why is that? So my mate and I are both developers and for us marketing was a chore. And it was really hard to find motivation to do it. But this time we tried really hard, but I guess not hard enough. We really needed someone with us, someone who wanted to do it and someone who would have known how to do it. We ended up trying a lot of things by ourselves, but we couldn't really get creative or innovative. After contacting few newspapers and influencers, we were stuck and we were losing momentum every day. We even offered a free photo shoot to every new users. But it was too slow and painful. You know, the hard thing with hyperlocal apps is that you have to have a lot of people at the same place and at the same moment. And we couldn't really achieve that. Let's now switch to my last tip for today's video. Find a problem you have or you love. This tip is probably the most important one. You'll spend the next month or years grinding on this idea. So find a problem that resonates with you and that you care about. So for us, after spending few months coding it and actually dating people with it, we just noticed that our app wasn't solving the issue other apps have. Just because people were always finding a way to dodge the system and were using 5 dating apps at the same time. We really lost our faith in the product and mission altogether. So we decided to stop working on it and move to something else instead. So don't forget for your current or future projects. Start small, test the idea first, focus on your marketing, find a team with good complementary skills, and find a problem you have or you love. So what did I learn? I learned that ultimately, all those failures made me learn and evolve so much faster as a human and developer. They also helped me to create new opportunities for my career. For instance, I landed my previous job at a startup called Slide because I tried to sell the product to CEO and he was really impressed with what I did and I ultimately ended up working with them. So keep on building, keep on failing, and eventually you'll succeed. I will soon start a project around NFTs and I will be following all those tips to see if they work. Everything about this project will be documented on this channel. So if you like to see more, please consider subscribe to this channel, maybe give a like to this video, and who knows, you might be the first one to do it. I'm super curious to know where this channel can go and I'm super excited to start this year on this platform. Alright, I guess see you next time. Bye.